So we've seen how to upgrade our database in kind of a generic sense, right? We've just unzipped Liferay 6.2 and then upgraded it over to Liferay 7.1. Let's go ahead and see what it's like in a more production-like environment, having some actual data and then getting that data over to Liferay 7.1. So let's do a little bit of digging. Let's have a little fun with this next exercise. So we already have our Liferay 6.2 instance. Recall from a little bit ago, a couple exercises back, we already kind of messed with some stuff in a 6.2 instance over in that Jakes folder. We're going to still use that Liferay 6.2 instance and then spin up a Liferay 7.1 instance and work with that, get it all upgraded. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and get started here. So we're going to go ahead and start by unzipping our Liferay 7.1 bundle over to the Jakes folder. So using the unzipping command, our Liferay 7.1 instance is over here in the downloads folder, and then at Liferay DXP using the autocomplete by hitting tab, using -D to say, hey, this is where I want to unzip the zip file, and then so the Liferay DXP folder, followed by servers, and then Jakes. Right. Once you have that typed out, go ahead and hit enter, and then we're going to wait for the unzipping process to finish up. As we go through this exercise, it's going to be very similar to what we did in the previous exercise. We're even going to have a little bit of surprise there. Don't want to spoil it, so let's push on. All right, next up, let's go ahead and navigate into our Liferay 7.1 instance and get that upgrade tool, that DB upgrade client up and running. So navigating over to the Liferay DXP folder, servers, and then Jakes. Here in the Jakes folder, we're going to go to the Liferay DXP 7.1, followed by tools, and then portal, tools, DB, upgrade client. Whew, there's a lot of things going on there. You can see how that tab key really helps us. Now that we're here, again, we have a couple of property files that we need to modify here. So we're going to start off with the app server one. So I'm using Nano, and if you want to use something different, feel free to do so. And this is very reminiscent, very familiar to us. This is more or less what we did in the previous exercise, right? So looking for the Tomcat properties here and using all of the defaults. So in this situation, the defaults are going to be just fine for us. Right. Once you have that, we're going to exit out using Control X. If you're using Nano, hit Y for yes, and then enter to solidify that. There's always that running joke of, if you want to see pure chaos, give startup VI to someone who's never used VI and tell them to exit out. Anyways, all right, so we got our app server properties configured. Next up, we need that database. Right, so I'm going to use Nano once again. Portal upgrade D for database, using tab to autocomplete that for me. Looking for MySQL or MySQL. Oh man, I'm losing it here. I'm losing it. Right. Okay. So the username here is going to be root. Password is Liferay. Other thing we need to change is the database that we're going to be connecting to. It's going to be Jakes_L portal. Right. Once you have all of those things, let's go ahead and exit out. Control X as in X-ray. We're going to hit Y as in yo-yo, and then the enter key to solidify our changes in that specific file. Now we're going to copy a couple of config files. Recall from our lecture that there's a couple of configurations that we can, configure with the DB upgrade client. One of them is, again, do we upgrade in one shot or split it up between core and modules? So in this exercise, we're going to be splitting it up. We're going to let the core upgrade and then see what sort of options we get for upgrading the modules. The next is in regards to indexing. We don't want the indexing process to kind of kick off and interrupt and just take a bunch of time. So we're going to disable the indexing process after the upgrading is done. So let's get those two config files copied over into the configs folder of our Liferay 7.1 instance. The config files are over in the exercise source folder in the Liferay DXP upgrade folder. So using CP for copy, I'm going to get over to the DXP upgrade. Exercise source is where it should be. Sorry, I need to finish the command, so that's my fault. It's going to be in the backup folder, and then if I hit tab twice, it'll show me everything that's within the backup folder. So we're going to be copying both of those config files. So com autocomplete gets us up to portal. We'll start with the search. So start typing search, tab to autocomplete. Next, we need to specify where this is going to go. So this is going to go into the configs folder of our Liferay 7.1 instance. So Liferay DXP upgrade, servers, Jakes, and then Liferay DXP 7.1 10 GA1 OSGI, and then configs. There we go. Having some troubles there. Cool. So once you have that all ready to go, you can go ahead and hit enter, get that copied over. Right. Gonna do the same thing for the other file. And if you have the bidirectional going for the clipboard, you can try to copy from the exercises on the right hand side. Kind of save yourself a little bit of time in typing. Right. I personally like to practice my typing, right? But I'm sure not everybody likes to. So if you want to copy and paste, feel free to do so. Right? If you're used to kind of tabbing along, that's fine as well. Okay. Cool. So we have our two configs files copied over into the configs folder. Next up, let's go ahead and start the database upgrade tool, and then we're going to see that in action, and we're also going to see how we're able to upgrade our modules as well. Actually, no, I'm already there. I don't need to go anywhere. So /db_upgrade.sh will get us to the database upgrade tool. It's going to ask me to enter my Liferay home. Just going to hit enter right there. And we're going to go ahead and wait for a few moments. All right, cool. So we have the upgrade process finished for the core of Liferay. Now we have the opportunity to start upgrading the modules. Now there are a couple different commands that we can run in order to do a little bit of investigation. Right? If you need a little bit of help, you can always type help. You get a list of every single command that you can run. Right? But for now, let's go over some quick ones. Upgrade:check. That's the first one that we see there. Gives us just that. It allows us to see all of the modules that are upgradable or that we're able to upgrade. So you can go through and see which modules need to be upgraded, but once we have that all confirmed, we can kind of go one by one. To make this process a little bit faster, we can upgrade all of them at once using upgrade:execute all. To me, it sounds a little bit morbid for that command, but we can bring that up with the developers. Cool, so we have finished the upgrade process. Face value, we would think that, oh, everything is done, we're all good. But we need to do a little bit more. We need to actually confirm some of these things. And so one of the things that we can do is just kind of look through the logs, right? And so we can kind of peek through and see, for the most part, things kind of went almost as expected. Almost there. So we see there's this error right here, the stack trace, and it kind of gives us some stuff to work with. So not everything worked as we intended. We can see here, as we were trying to verify, or we were trying to upgrade this part here, the message board discussions, MB discussions, it was looking for a specific blog entry that it couldn't find. So it couldn't find this blog entry with the primary key of 22845. And so that's an indicator to me that that somebody deleted this blog entry, maybe inappropriately, and the reference to this blog entry still exists over in the message board discussions, saying that's where the error came to be, right? If we kind of dig through a little bit more with the stack trace, maybe we can find a little bit more. There's this verify MB discussions method that was called, for example, that probably tried to verify that things were good, but found that probably wasn't good. And so there's a number of different things that we can do with this. This is where we can start actually investigating the database a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. If you don't already have a terminal window or an empty one that you can work with, Control-Alt-T to bring up a new one. We're going to log into MySQL here. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a quick check, make sure everything that should be here is here. There's the Jake's L portal, and then there's the regular L portal. So very good. Over on the right-hand side in the exercise instructions, go ahead and copy and paste if you have that ability. I have to type this out. This is where typing is not exactly fun. Okay, so if you have the ability to copy and paste, by all means, please do that. It's much easier. Okay, equals 22845. Going to be looking for this specific blog entry. And as we expect, it's not around. We can't find it. Right? That's exactly what we would expect. Otherwise, why would we get this error in the first place unless something really odd is going on? So that's the first part. Again, as we look through the stack trace, we can see that something is going on with the message board discussions. Now we can take a peek over there and see maybe something is being referenced over there. So we're going to run our next query to be able to see just that. Is there something referencing this blog's entry that we did not delete or it did not get deleted properly? Let's find out. So again, if you can, please just copy and paste. If I had that ability, I would. But again, that's all right. I don't mind practicing typing, but it's very error prone. I don't exactly trust myself all too much in regards with my typing skills. Otherwise, maybe I'd be like a stenographer or something like that. But stenographers use different types of keyboards anyways. Right, I know this narration is not much of help here with the typing, but it is just kind of thinking out loud. Oh, whoops. Oh gosh. All right. So didn't quite finish there. There might even still be an error. If so, that's all right. I've always wondered, how do people feel kind of about banter? Is it appropriate, in these kind of settings where just trying to type things through, or would you rather hear me narrate what exactly I'm typing? Cool. So first pass through, I'm very impressed that it actually came out right. So you'll see here that, yeah, indeed, something is being referenced. Something is trying to reference this blog's entry over in the message board discussion. Since the blog's entry is gone, this error is indeed a valid error. It's not something weird or something that the upgrade tool just decided not to work with. This is indeed a true error. And so there are a couple of different ways to approach this. Of course, the best way to approach this is to never have the error in the first place. Again, this is probably due to deleting things improperly from the database. Always use those APIs. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to start from scratch. We're going to start this process over. And before we go through the upgrade process, we are going to make sure that that blog's entry reference is gone from the message board discussions. Let's go ahead and tackle that in the next part of our exercise. So we're going to head back over to our terminal, more so here, the one that I'm running MySQL on. So MySQL, make sure that it shows up in the console there. We're going to start off by getting rid of the database. We're going to drop it. Okay, Jake's drop. No. So the console's getting funny on me. Okay, so we're going to drop the database. Which one are we going to drop? Jake's L portal. All right, we're going to drop that database. We're going to wait for it to delete. Once it's deleted, let's recreate the database following the process that we did just a little bit ago. So we're going to create a new schema. We're going to call it Jake's_L portal. Be careful with spelling here. Our exercises are dependent on us spelling things correctly. So yeah, make sure the spelling is correct. So Jake's L portal, default character set UTF-8. I mixed that up. UTF-8. There we go. And then we're going to restore from our backup. Albeit our backup is technically broken, but that's okay. If this is the only backup that we have, we're going to have to work with what we got. And then once we fix it, we can back that up, back up the backup. All right, so just typing away. Exercise source, backup, Jake's, Liferay portal. Unfortunately, I can't do tab to autocomplete this, but that's all right. I have a typo somewhere. There's no R in exercise. I'm sure you saw that. Right, yelling at me, Eddie, it's right there. It's right there. I'm sorry I couldn't hear. If I heard you, I would. No. Oh, man, I'm all over the place right now. First, we need to select a database. So use Jake's L portal. So that's my fault. I apologize. It's getting a little bit late for me. Not that late, but still. And now once it's selected, we got it. So if you're following the instructions on the right-hand side, you're going to be good, right? So follow those instructions. I'm kind of showing and demoing what you should be expecting. So we're going to wait for that database process to finish, and it's already done. Okay. Let's start this over once again. We're going to start up our Liferay instance. So I'm going to bring up a new window, another terminal window. You can Control-Alt-Tango, or T as in Tango, and then just navigating to where we need to go. Liferay DXP upgrade, servers, Jake's, and then this is our Liferay 6.2. We called it Liferay portal back in the day. Over to the Tomcat bin folder, /Catalina sh run. All right, and we're gonna wait for Liferay to start up. Server started up pretty quick, less than 2 minutes. That's good to see. So now that I'm connected to the internet, we see the images here. So this is what we should see by default. Again, the sign in button up at the top right decides to work when it feels like it. So I always use the URL localhost 8080/C as in Charlie /portal/login. Brings us to the sign in application. Test@liferay.com, password of test. I'm gonna wait for it to load. Now that it's loaded, we're going to head over to where we executed our scripts earlier. So admin drop down over here, a little bit towards the right, going to be selecting the control panel, waiting for the control panel to load up. And now that it's loaded up, heading over to the right-hand side, selecting server administration. Once server administration loads up, we're going to go over to script. And again, make sure you're following along on the right-hand side with our exercises. The next part is going to be there for you. So if you've been taking advantage of the copy and paste, feel free to copy and paste there. First thing, in the language dropdown, we're going to be executing a Groovy script. Go ahead and highlight everything. You can use Control-A to do so. And make sure that's clean. Nothing is here. And then we're going to be calling our message calling our API to remove that reference for us. Okay, so again, I am going to be typing this because I don't have easy access there, but that's okay. That's all right. I don't mind. Again, if I if I mistype, just let me know. Right. Think about the day where that is, I don't know, maybe that would be something in the future, doing sort of live seminars. I guess that's what in-person trainings are. So I guess we don't have to think about those. Those are already a thing. This is more so the future, right? Me, kind of lecturing you guys from the past. So just calling our API to delete that specific blog entry with the blog entry reference, I should say, with the ID number 22845. Let's see if I got it right the first time. Whoa, okay, very cool. Got that deleted. All right, yeah, so let's go ahead. We're gonna go over to our MySQL client, and we're just gonna make sure that this is indeed gone. So I got a couple of different windows open here. Let's make sure that it is indeed gone. You're gonna see over on your exercises tab, there's a specific query that we're gonna run to see, is it gone or not? So if you are able to take advantage of the copy and paste, yeah, go for it. But yeah, I think it's just very interesting how this is sort of the future of training is virtual, right? So you can take it at your own pace, whereas kind of the traditional is always in person. Me personally, that's what that's what I'm used to, is that in-person interaction. In all honesty, there's this sort of, how do I describe it? There's this sort of uneasiness of just kind of me talking to myself. Over time, I have gotten used to it, but it's just kind of the idea of like, yeah, I don't have any sort of feedback from anyone. I don't know, what you're doing or what you're not doing. And so just kind of have to roll with it. Right, and that's all right. That's okay. I'm having fun here, and I hope you're having fun as well. 22845. Yeah, so this is the query that we ran a little bit ago to confirm that there was something there. We can kind of recall from it, just in case I typoed it, right? And yeah, it is indeed not here. That reference is no longer here. So we know that the Groovy command that we ran in the background here did indeed what we expected it to do. Let's go ahead and back this up. Okay, so let's back this up. I need to get out of the MySQL terminal here. All right, so let me exit, and then I'm gonna run the MySQL. So MySQL dump. So the MySQL dump is the client used in the MySQL world to be able to back up your databases. Okay, we're going to be backing up the JXL portal. So that way, if we want to try this again, we could, right? This is our genuine backup. This is our correct one. Right, so over in exercise source, I do have autocomplete. I guess I was so used to just typing things out. All right, I'm gonna take advantage of the autocomplete. This last part is the name of the file, so since it doesn't exist, there is no autocomplete here. Okay. Again, if you can, go ahead and use the copy and paste or type out from the right-hand side. So MySQL -- user root, and then the rest. Cool, so we got it backed up. Next up, we're gonna restore all of our production data. All right, so we're gonna start off by getting rid of the current data folder that's there. Right, so we can just wipe it clean and then unzip from the production data that we used just a little bit ago in another video, actually. All right, so we're going to remove from the directory servers, and then Jakes. Let's try that again. Jakes, and then Liferay DXP, and then data. Cool, we got that taken care of. Let's go ahead and unzip the production data zip folder. So unzip from Liferay DXP upgrade, our exercise source. We're gonna head over to the backup folder, and then we're honing in on the data.zip here. Using -d, specifying where exactly are we going to be unzipping this. It's going to be over in the Liferay home directory of our 7.1 instance. So Liferay DXP upgrade /server, Jakes, and then Liferay DXP, DXP, there we go, GA1. Good to go. Once you got that, let's make it happen. We'll go ahead and hit that enter key. Cool. Now we're all ready to go, or we should be more or less all ready to go. There's one last thing that we need to do. We're gonna copy the portal setup wizard. So that portal setup wizard, or sorry, we don't need to do that yet, sorry, disregard that. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna run the upgrade tool one more time, make sure that the upgrade is gonna be successful this time. And since we started from scratch, we do have to re-upgrade, or just upgrade the database. So portal tools db upgrade client. All right. /db_upgrade.sh, and then we're gonna run it. Again, we still have those config files that we worked with a little bit ago. And so this is still going to be a two-step process, the core and then the modules. So we'll go ahead and wait for that. Cool, so we're back in the GoGo shell going through the upgrade process for our modules. So let's not, check on things this time around. Let's just go ahead and run through that upgrade command, upgrade : execute all. Again, I still think it sounds a little bit morbid, but that is the command. We'll go ahead and wait a few moments for the modules to do their thing and get upgraded. All right, so very interestingly enough, I did run through an error here. That was something that was a little unexpected, but that's all right. Let's take a peek here and make sure that there's null pointer exception. It didn't look like there's anything specific in the stack trace there. So I'm gonna go try to upgrade it one more time and see if so got a little less there. So very interesting, very interesting. From my previous experience, this is something that did not occur for me during right. Let's try to upgrade one more time. I wonder what's going on. So there's a table that doesn't exist. All right, so maybe there's something that happened on my end that I may have missed along the way, or could just be the upgrade tool itself. So this is very interesting. It kind of caught a snag here. Let's go ahead and let's keep on. Let me try one more thing. Upgrade, execute. No, that's my fault there. So there could have been something that occurred during the re-import process. We're going to go ahead and run with it. We'll see how this affects our upgrade. This is close to the end of the exercise anyways. The video is already going pretty long. So let's go ahead, we'll push on. So I'll exit out of the go shell. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of start from scratch. I'm going to go into my filing cabinet, the File Explorer. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of our current Liferay 7.1 instance. Right, so heading over to servers followed by Jakes, I'm going to delete the whole Liferay DXP 7.1 instance. Right, and then once it's deleted, we're going to unzip a new Liferay DXP 7.1 bundle into this directory. All right, now that that's gone, let's go ahead and unzip a new one. So unzip, right, it's from the downloads folder. And then Liferay DXP using -D, we're going to unzip that over in the servers directory. So Liferay DXP upgrade, servers, and then Jakes. Right, now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and run it. All right, so the unzipping process is finished. We're going to bring back our production data. All right. Okay, so we'll unzip from the Liferay DXP. So unzip home directory tilde, so Liferay DXP, exercise source, and then that Jakes production data. So let's see, I'm trying to recall Jakes. Let's see, what is it called? It's in backup, that's right. So backup and then Jakes, Liferay portal dash data.zip -D specifies where we're going to unzip it back over in the Liferay DXP upgrade, followed by servers, and then our Liferay DXP 7.1. So Jakes, I need to, there we go. Okay, like DXP, and then we're going to unzip it there. Looks like it was just fine. Let me confirm that. That didn't feel right, but it is indeed right, so that's okay. Let me get back to the terminal there. Or maybe it's because this was still here. Maybe I should have closed that, killed the terminal over there. So that might have been what it was. And I still have the 6.2 instance here. That might have caused some issues as well. Let me close that out. The instructions may have told us to close it, but again, I'm not running with those instructions all too well. Don't got them on me. Or at least not all of them, I should say. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna run. Let's see. So we're gonna run the database upgrade tool. Okay, so let me get back into the tool here, and then I'm trying to think through here. We already ran the upgrade tool. So what we need to do, we're gonna copy over the portal setup wizard. So the portal setup wizard is with the rest of the exercises. So exercise source, it should be here. Maybe not. Maybe it's at this level. Liferay DXP portal, yeah. And we're going to paste that over into the Liferay home directory. So Liferay DXP upgrade, servers, Liferay Jakes, and then Liferay DXP. There we go. And then last step here is we're going to run our Liferay instance. So we're going to head over to Tomcat cd .. or this cd .. brings you one directory up. So I need to go into the Liferay folder. I went too far down. Tomcat and then bin. And then running Catalina.sh and then run. So that's my fault. I should have closed more windows in the background. That may have caused some issues behind the scenes. Right, so if you followed the instructions verbatim, you should be all right. Again, I'm kind of running half memory here, so it's kind of my fault, and I apologize for that. All right, so my computer did go into sleep as I was waiting. Because you can see it took quite a long time for me, almost 10 minutes. So we're gonna wait for the browser to kick up. So we got a good sign here. It says Jake's manufacturer. Again, I know it was a while ago, but recall how we started up a brand new instance and then we connected it to the database. So the fact that I see Jake's manufacturer is a good sign. Not everything went according to plan is because I messed up. So even though there might have been a couple of hiccups here and there, as we're waiting for this to load up, let's go ahead and deploy the license or the activation key. So we can do this through the filing cabinet, the file explorer. Here in the Liferay DXP folder, we have the 7.1 activation key. Go ahead and copy it using Control-C or right-click copy. And then we're going to deploy it into the deploy folder. So servers, Jake's, and then Liferay 7.1, and then deploy. We can go ahead and drop it off there. It's not going to stay there for very long. Once we paste it, let me paste it there, right? It's going to get deployed to where it needs to go. And then we can refresh the page one more time. Let me check the console here. It is taking a little bit of time. No sort of errors, so it could just be Liferay taking a bunch of time. And that's all right. Let's stop the process, refresh now that we have the license, and then we'll play the waiting game just a little bit longer. All right, so even though it took some time, we can see here that the restore process, for the most part, worked as we expected, right? We have our content here, our banner, Jake's manufacturer. If you want, take some time to kind of explore around to make sure everything that should be here is here. As for me, I know this video has gone pretty long, so as always, I want to thank you for sticking with me to the end, and I will see you in the next video.